Hi all, welcome to my channel about Flutter. Today I will be showing you how to design a cross-platform Flutter landing page in all three platforms, web, Android and iOS. So this video is a companion video for this article about the cross-platform development or about Flutter. So in this particular article I mentioned, I will be doing the design and implementation for landing page of a hypothetical app, Flutter to Fly, for web and for native Android and iOS platforms. So if you want to check out the code for the web, you can go on this link, and for native, this link. Basically, this is the same code repo but have the different branches. It's recommended to have the code in two different branches for web and native because really there is no uh, one code for all the platform kind of thing doesn't exist yet, and uh, the web implementation is in the tech preview as of now. And if you are using the plugins in your Flutter app, you cannot use in the web. So it's recommended that you create your mobile application for the web implementation first and then adapt that application into the native platform. Because if you do the other way around, you may have used some plugins that may not work for web. Just to keep in mind. So now here I will be creating a plain Flutter application project. So just to give you a quick show, you can create a Flutter project by creating new and new Flutter project, creating a Flutter application, and so on. So once you create the Flutter project, you may not you may have to adapt the pub/spec YAML into the web format. You can use this link to read more about it by the Flutter team. So this page talks about the changes in the pub/spec YAML that we have to do. It shows very clearly what all the dependencies we have to be replaced for the web. So for example, for Flutter SDK, you have to use Flutter_web. For dev dependencies, you have to use Flutter web test, and these build runner and build web compilers comes only for the web, and this is for test. And we really don't use this form of the asset management at the web component. Rather, we have the assets in the web folder right here that I'll show you in a bit. And the dependency override. So right now the web component doesn't exist in the pub. So it's being pulled from the GitHub for web UI and web UI test. So that's pretty much about this link. It's very useful link. And here is the configuration that I showed here for your reference. And to show you my GitHub the branches, I have these many branches, so I can show you here. So I have native and web, as you can see. In the web and native, there is a full-fledged implementation, the final implementation of the whole landing page for web and native respectively. For start is the regular Flutter application project created for you if you want to work along with the tutorial. And for step 1 has the header implementation, and step 2 has the full implementation pretty much, but no responsive layout implementations yet. In the web setup is a starter project for the web only. So if you want to start from the web side, you can check out this branch and can work along with the article. So now going back to it, we have to create the web directory after taking care of the pub/spec.yaml, and here I will be using email and the Flutter image. Flutter image is the background image that I will be using for this landing page, and email is the icon that I'll be using right here. So yeah, so this is the landing page that we will be building today. And as you can see, there are very clearly two parts to it. One is the top part right here, which is a header that I'm calling header, and the bottom part, or the center down part, is the body part. So I will have a body and the header widget classes to hold these components, which is right here. You can see there's a widget folder, the body and the header. And you see in the header there is a logo. There is a little box, round rectangle square here, which is a rounded corner. There's some text on it. There's a space little bit, and here is the title of the site. Here are the links, that navigation links, and you see there is a space little bit in here that we will be providing using sized box. And here's the button, and in button you can see there are the different shades of blues and little shade here that will be using different shades of blues to give this gradient. And the same, you can see this is the same gradient for login, subscribe, and for this one. And here are the different kind of styling I have done to show. Here is a one text, this is a rich text component, this is a plain text, and this is a little box for the email. And I'm holding this component in the email box class, and the subscribe button has its own class, which is in here, the widget. So this is a very brief overview of all the structure and architecture of this project. And now let's get started, follow along the tutorial. So after we created the web, so in the index.html, so this is something we have to create. So you can follow this link for more information. So it's the same file, it's the same link that I just showed you just now. So here you have to add two files in your web directory. One is this HTML and one is in main dart, and you have to make sure you update this thing according to your project. So in my project I have main dart, and my main dart for the landing page package is coming from here. This one is my main. So my main dart and main HTML is the entry point to my web app. So as you can see, this is the dart converted into JavaScript, and this is the main web linkage where the web gets entry point into. So here, alright, so once you have done this, you might want to pull the packages, which is pub.get, to get all the packages. So probably I get all the packages already, so this is how it would look like. It will pull all the packages. Another thing, you might want to use the web dev to run the web server. So you might want to activate the web dev if you haven't already. So it looks like this, and it goes for a while, but it's a one-time thing, so it's activated for me. If it's not activated for you, it will give you a little path to be added into your environment variable, so that you don't have to keep doing this again and again. And now you have to use web dev serve to serve the site. So it takes a while for the first time, but from there onwards, as soon as you make your changes, it automatically gets reflected there. So it takes a while at the first time, and right now you see there is really no website running. It was from my previous session, and now soon it will come. And when you run the first Flutter application, you may see, so the Android Flutter application comes bundled with this particular sample app. So when you haven't done this, so for me the code was already there, but at the beginning you might see this project, and you can see the same project in the web setup. So if you check in here, you should be able to see this part of the project. So now we want to do the getting ready and start implementing the page header. And let's see if it came. Yeah, it's coming. It's waiting for look. Still it's working. Still it's working. So while we're working, let's check out the main dot dot. So in the main dot dot, I have removed all the boilerplate code from here, and I updated to Flutter to Fly my title for the web page, and the my home page. It comes with the title here, but I removed it and I made it so it used to be a stateful widget in this particular app. I converted it into the stateless widget, and you see it came here. So it's a local host, and you can click on it to jump on it right here. It's right here. So we are here. So but this is something is not it's an end product, not at the beginning. I'm just showing you the code structure right now and how I achieved this whole page. So in the my home page, you can see it's a container and there is decoration. So at the beginning, you see there's only this white and with some slight gradient. So I'm holding my all colors in my colors is a util class right here. So it's a different shades of slight whites, and there's a different blues to give gradient, and the blue for and is used for this little thing here, like a little shadow here. And the strings class has all the static strings that I'm holding so that I don't have to keep hard coding it in the app. Okay, so right here you see is I'm adding a box container right here, and there is a little gradient, the white and white, this one, and the background color is transparent. I'm adding a single child scroll view for whole this app, and adding a column and header and the body. So this is a header and that's the body, and I created the two classes for it. You see, you click on it on header and the body. So as I said, a header has two yeah, so that we can see. So header has these build header, so it's like a little padding, it's like a whole padding right here, and which is horizontal 45 right here, and vertical is 38 like this. And we are adding a row in the build header, like a one big row, and which is like evenly spaced, like space in between. And here is the build logo. Build logo does take care of this to the left part of it, and the build header links takes care of the right part of the thing of the header. So in build header links, you see there is two parts. One is the get um, link listing, which is these text here, and the login button, which is right here. So before that, let's build the logo. So in the row, you see there's a container. So have a row and a container, and we have to basically add this little box and some decoration and gradients around it. You can see the border radius is 18. It's a circular box, and it has a two blues which starts at the shading here, like bottom right, and it goes to the top left, and it's the same is done in all the buttons on this page. And this is the logo title, which is FTF is used here, and there's a little size box you would see to to have the little spacing, otherwise it will be glued together. And the app title is right here, and which is you can give the some font styling here. I'm not using custom font in this particular article, but that will be the part of my next article, how to use custom fonts in Flutter, and particularly in this page. All right, so yeah, so we just build the header right. We just build the logo